For centuries, the jungle held a secret. Deep within the ruins of the Maya, a legacy was written in stone, a blueprint of the sky that seems almost impossible for its time. So let's dive in and figure out how they managed to map the cosmos with such incredible precision.
That's the big question, right? How did they do it? They had no telescopes, none of the tools we think are essential, yet their astronomical accuracy still blows scientists away today. The answer, it turns out, isn't just in what they built, but in how they thought. Okay, so our journey starts right here, in the middle of these incredible jungle-covered cities. You have to imagine, these temples and pyramids, they weren't just buildings. They were instruments, giant stone puzzles hiding the secrets of the universe. And this really gets at the amazing paradox of the Maya. On the one hand, you see ancient ruins being swallowed by nature. But on the other, you're looking at some of the most sophisticated records of celestial mechanics ever created, just waiting for us to read them. So how did they even begin to crack the code of the heavens? Well, their first, and maybe their greatest, invention wasn't a physical tool at all. It was an idea, a completely revolutionary way of thinking about and measuring time itself. At the very heart of their system were two different calendars that worked together. Think of them like a pair of intricate gears in a cosmic clock. First, you had the Tzolk'in, a 260-day sacred calendar, and meshing with it was the Haab, a 365-day calendar based on the sun. These two gears would turn together, and once every 52 years, they'd line up perfectly, marking a huge cycle that shaped everything from royal ceremonies to planting crops. It was a mathematical engine for organizing their entire world. But what about the really, really big picture? For that, they had something called the long count. Now, this wasn't about seasons. This was a system for tracking time from a single mythical creation date. It let them pinpoint any event, thousands, even millions of years into the past or the future, with total precision. It's just mind-boggling. And the key to all of this, the thing that made these huge calculations even possible, was a revolutionary leap in math: the concept of zero. The Maya invented it all on their own, something only a few cultures in all of history ever managed to do. This one little idea, the idea of nothing, was the key that unlocked everything else for them. And get this, their number system was so elegant and simple. A dot was a 1, a bar was a 5, and that's it. By combining them in a base 20 system where the position of the symbol changed its value, just like our own base 10 system, they could write out gigantic numbers and do the kind of complex math you need to track planets across the sky. Okay, so they've got this incredibly powerful toolkit of math and time. What did they do with it? Well, they didn't just casually glance up at the stars. No, they focused on the sky with an intensity that you can only call an obsession. And they were especially obsessed with one particular object, the planet Venus. They calculated the synodic cycle of Venus, that's the time it takes for it to show up in the same spot in the sky again, at just about 584 days. Their measurement was so good, so precise, it was off by only a few hours per cycle. Think about that. No telescopes, just pure observation and math. They understood its whole journey. They watched it appear as the morning star, then disappear, then come back as the evening star. For the Maya, this wasn't just some random point of light. It was a divine character acting out a cosmic drama that they could predict down to the day. And you might be thinking, how do we know this for sure? Well, they literally built the proof into their cities. Take a look at El Caracol in Chichen Itza. This building isn't aligned to the sun or the cardinal directions. Its windows and doorways are lined up perfectly with the most northern and southern points Venus reaches on the horizon. It's a massive stone observatory built for one purpose: to track a single planet. So why? Why go to all this trouble? Because, for the Maya, Venus was a massive deal. It was linked to war, to power, to the gods themselves. The cycles of Venus could tell a king when to launch a war, when to hold a coronation, when to perform a critical ritual. To know the path of Venus was to know the future. And this is where it gets even more incredible. The Maya didn't just keep this knowledge in books or for a select few. They wove their cosmic understanding right into the fabric of their cities, turning entire public spaces into giant working observatories for everyone to see. The most jaw-dropping example of this has to be the Great Pyramid of El Castillo. Picture this. It's late afternoon on the equinox. As the sun starts to set, a play of light and shadow begins on the main staircase. And as the minutes tick by, those shadows form the body of a massive snake that seems to slither all the way down the pyramid to join a stone head at the bottom. This is their feathered serpent god, Kukulkan, descending from the sky. It's not an accident. It is a masterpiece of architectural and astronomical engineering. They also built these specific arrangements of buildings we now call E-groups. They're basically giant public calendars. You'd stand on a pyramid on the west side and watch the sun rise. And depending on which eastern structure it rose behind, you'd know if it was the summer solstice, the winter solstice, or one of the equinoxes. The entire city was designed to tell you the time of year. And living in the tropics, they tracked another really cool event, the zenithal passage. This happens twice a year when the sun is directly overhead at noon, and for a moment, vertical objects cast no shadow at all. So they built deep wells and shafts into their buildings that would only be perfectly illuminated by a shaft of sunlight on those two specific days, a signal from the heavens that it was time to plant the corn. So when you put it all together, the genius-level math, those complex interlocking calendars, and this incredible architecture that's perfectly aligned with the stars, a really clear picture starts to form. For the Maya, everything was connected. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? For the Maya, there was no line between the earth and the heavens. Their temples were mirrors of the cosmos. Their calendars were the language of the stars. They didn't just build cities in the world. They were cosmic engineers, designing their world to be in perfect harmony with the universe. You know, the Maya left us with this powerful idea that with enough careful observation and creativity, the biggest mysteries of the cosmos aren't beyond our reach. Their work is an incredible testament to what the human mind is capable of, and it makes you wonder, what other ancient blueprints of the sky are still out there, just waiting for us to find them?